what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Should we just talk about Whit Weeks?
I think so.
The Honky Badger?
I think so.
The man who continues to play like a man possessed, the man who leads the SEC in tackles for a second week in a row, the man who called game. And the Whit Weeks pick, you have to remember the context in which it happened. It's 16-10. Arkansas had been moving the ball pretty well the last couple of drives. They scored a touchdown, then they get down there, they get a field goal. Jake, had you just punted? You only punted once. Was this coming? I believe so. Or maybe it was off a field goal. Or no, you had just punted?
Yeah, because remember you had punted inside the 10, and then when he picks it off, he's right there. That was right after the punt.
So you had just gotten stopped for the first time.
Yeah.
It's halfway through the third quarter. They're at home. They're only down 6. And they're coming off of 2 scoring drives in a row. So although you had really been in control of the game the entire time and you looked like the better team, you were still in a position where one play and everything changes. If Quentin Jackson hits one of those 75-yard touchdowns you've given up this year or something like that, like all of a sudden you're losing, game on. We're going into the fourth quarter and it's going to be a freaking battle. And it's in that context. Like your biggest players got to show up on these stages in the biggest moments. And it's in that context, Whit Weeks, beautiful blitz design, breaks through, bats the ball up in the air. Taylon Green actually tips it again, trying to get it back. Weeks somehow has the concentration falling over with even because Burns is going after it too. It's like a Renaissance painting. It's like there's hands everywhere flashing. He stays focused. He comes up with the pick. He damn near somehow stretches into the end zone.
Yeah.
The athleticism to get the pick and then even stretch the ball is wild. But again, because I know you end up dominating them by the end. So it was easy to forget what the actual context of that play was. And it straight up broke the Arkansas Razorback spirit and back in such a clear and obvious way. It's one of the most impactful plays I've ever seen. So it goes from 16-10. Then that happens, and then it's 24-10. And it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. Like instead of going into the fourth quarter on the road, an absolute battle, game's over. And you dominate.
You could feel the crowd just know that in that moment.
Yep.
Okay, it's done.
Sorry, guys. Fun night.
Done. Yeah.
Everybody go home.
Yeah.
Good luck getting home. Might want to beat traffic.
It's almost like they put it up on the scoreboard. Like, thank God for coming out. God bless you. Good night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it really felt like the complete dynamic
the drinking
of that place.
And driving announcements.
Exactly. That's an individual effort that you can't coach. And it sounds cliche, but it's just facts. You can't coach stuff like that. You can't coach coming off the edge, knocking the ball down, finding the ball in the air, getting it. I mean, all of that. Like, everything has to go perfect. And it's a playmaker going to make a play. And there's like 7 or 8 clips that we could pull up, and that's going to be the one that gets all the attention. And I get it, and I understand why, because it is, like you said, it is Badger-like for him to go do that.
It reminds me of that old David Pollock play back in the day when he stole the ball from South Carolina's quarterback, and he ended up in the end zone. But that was the first thing that I thought of.
Was it Roy Williams against Texas in Red River? He jumps over a guy and bats it down. Like, it felt like that.
It's like one of those plays that for the college football nerds, you'll be able to reference it, and LSU fans will remember exactly what you're talking about for a long time.
Now, I do want to show a play. It will be talked about a little bit. It's not going to live as long as the one that we're talking about where Whit, taps it up to himself, intercepts it, changes the game. But just to show you the high level that Whit Weeks is playing at physically within one play, but also mentally within a play. If we could pull this up, Tay, because Arkansas running back Braylon Russell is 6'1", 253 pounds.
Damn.
He was a guy that basically closed out the Tennessee game. They didn't want to tackle him.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get in front of him. He closed it out in that last drive. They would go and score. It was, a lot of him. All right. And so just to know the size of the running back. Okay. So you see Whit, he's giving final instruction here to Greg Penn. Okay. So the ball snapped, he's still giving instruction to the defense. Ball snapped. Okay. So you would think, okay, well, he's going to be a step behind. But he also knows exactly what's going on as soon as he sees the guard, right? He knows right now I can cross the guard's face and I can go try to make a play on this stretched zone because I've got a safety behind me. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about Russell putting his foot in the ground right now. Now, it'd be a very difficult cut. He doesn't have to worry about that. He knows he's got Gilbert behind him, right? And so he's just going to track, boom.
Yeah, I mean, again, to hit him backwards like that, dude.
6'1".
And at an angle where you're not really lined up. Like, it's a weird angle to immediately fold him like you did.
And again, it's everything within the play. Giving final instruction, recognizing because you're prepared the play as soon as it happens, knowing that you have a safety behind you so you can be aggressive. And then, again, I'm going to play this in real time, just lowering the boom on somebody that's 6'1", 253 with aggression.
Well, and look how he sheds the O-lineman. Not worried about hand fight. I mean, the O-lineman might as well not exist in his brain. It's just a quick hands, get off me, hand swipe, and I'm out of here.
And that's because he's prepared. Again, like if you don't know what you're doing at the linebacker position, like T-Bob's talking about, it's a great point. You're just going to lock on to 54, the left guard, and you're going to try to figure it out.
Yeah,
you're going to try to see how it plays out, and you're going to be stuck on a guard. And then you put Gilbert in a bad situation because the running back would have a two-way go. But when you know what you're doing, when you know what the play is because of your film study, even if you get a late start because you're still trying to get everybody lined up, you can go right across the guard's face, you can track down the play, and you can knock out a running back that outweighs you by 20 pounds.
And also, who's at the 5 there, or whoever? I mean, whoever is the end does a pretty good job of getting penetration. He gets hooked, but he doesn't technically have to contain. The penetration from the nose and who's ever at tackle there is okay. Is it Relaford?
Yeah.
He's a little slow off the ball, but the penetration you see strings him out, right?
Yeah.
It makes him go flatter. Weeks in beating his guy shoots the gap, and then who has contain on the end there from the DB? Like this thing, everybody's playing in concert together, right? So Jackson can't keep pushing it to the sideline because contain's there. Weeks coming from the backside. He's already had to go flat because the D-line had good penetration. It's all 11 guys executing at a high level.
It is. And look, Arkansas's got a double team on Greg Penn. They're probably feeling really good about it. But look, Major Burns does a great job of making sure that thing doesn't go outside. Even if Whit's not there, right, you're having players that are coming over to pursue.
Jordan Gilbert's coming in, like you said,
got Sage Ryan
behind
as well.
him. Yeah.
So that's just a high-level ball play. And, again, physically, yes, because you hit Braylon Russell back. Nobody does that. But also just the mental to be giving out the play call one final time, but to know exactly what's going on. You're not sitting there. You're not waiting. You're not trying to hand fight a guard. You're like, I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to go make a play. Like that play will get lost in all the great plays that Whit made over the weekend. But I promise you in film study today, the coaches are going to point to that one as much as they point to any play.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.